Who are the Lords? Seriously, you hear politicians talking about the House of Lords all the time. Bills get sent there. Lords vote on laws. Governments get challenged there. But ask most people who the Lords actually are, and you'll probably get a blank stare. So here's what most British voters should know. The House of Lords is the second chamber of Parliament. Think of Parliament like a two-stage process. First, laws go through the House of Commons. That's the part that you vote for. Those are your MPs. But before most laws can actually become official, they also have to go through the House of Lords. And that's where things get a little bit interesting because unlike MPs, nobody votes for the Lords. Just let that sink in for a second. Hundreds of people help make and amend British laws, yet the public never elected them. So, who are they? Well, most Lords are appointed. Some are former politicians, some are business leaders, some are academics, military leaders, charity figures, and some are simply people that have strong connections to political parties. When politicians leave the Commons as MPs, many will actually end up in the Lords. Former prime ministers, former ministers, former party leaders. It's one reason critics often call it Britain's biggest political retirement home. But that's not really the whole story. There are also what they call cross-bench Lords. Those are members who don't officially belong to any political party. They often include experts from fields like science, law, medicine, business, things like that. Supporters say they bring valuable experience that elected politicians may not have, but critics say that expertise is no substitute for democracy, and they may well be right with that. I think a lot of people see the Lords as outdated now. And then there's something else that a lot of people also don't know, that Britain still has hereditary peers, meaning that some Lords inherited their title through family history. Now, there used to be hundreds of them. I think today there's just 92 hereditary peers that remain. But the fact that any still exist often surprises a lot of people, and it's quite controversial. It'd be interesting to know what you think of that, because Britain is one of the few democracies where inherited titles still play a role in Parliament. Then, of course, there are the bishops. 26 senior bishops from the Church of England automatically sit in the House of Lords. So religious leaders help scrutinise laws too. Again, pretty controversial. The big question, though, is what power do the Lords actually have? Can they block laws? Sort of is the answer to that, but not completely. The House of Lords can delay legislation. It can suggest changes. It can challenge government plans. It can force ministers to think again, but ultimately the House of Commons usually gets the final say. The Lords can slow things down. They usually can't stop them forever. And supporters will say, again, that that's exactly how it should work. They argue that the Lords act as a kind of safeguard, a second pair of eyes, a chamber full of experience that can spot mistakes politicians miss. Critics see it as something different. They look at a chamber with more than 800 members, many appointed by politicians, many never elected, some inheriting titles, and they ask a simple question: How is this at all democratic? That's why House of Lords reform has been debated for decades. Every few years, politicians promise to change it. Some want an elected second chamber. Some want fewer lords. Some want abolition altogether, just get rid of the lords. Yet somehow the lords survives. Government after government talks about reform. Very few actually do anything about it. And that's perhaps the most important thing to understand. The House of Lords isn't just another political institution. It's a reminder of how unusual Britain's political system really is. Because while most people focus on prime ministers and elections, hundreds of unelected individuals are still helping shape the laws that affect your life. And whether you think that's a strength or a weakness, it's something that every British voter should know. Make sure you like and subscribe. Lots more on the way.